Hey guys and girls, Nathan here from the B.Invested headquarters. Today, I want to talk about tax. So, topic of discussion today is how can you use your tax return to grow your property portfolio? And I think it's fitting due to the fact that we are coming towards the end of the financial year. Big changes out there in the marketplace, obviously regarding stimulus packages, all the benefits that are out there. How can you capitalize on your tax return in order to push your portfolio and push your position forward? The other aspect to look at is obviously depreciation as well. Should you get a depreciation report on your property and how to go about it? Looking at one's position at this point in time, as we approach the month of June, a lot of people frantically go and try and buy things in order to get the position right so they can make the biggest deductions so that they can get the biggest tax returns. A lot of people ask me, like, what am I doing at this point in time to maximise my tax position? And I'm always planning for it because $1 saved is $2 earned, and I don't like paying money to an extortion racket beneath the tax. So I'm always looking at planning to retain my wealth and retain my cash flow, and looking at different ways on how I can minimise my taxes. And I think it's important not just that you frantically go work out the last couple of weeks of the financial year on how to do it, but what can you be doing throughout the period of the 12 months leading up to that? And I guess, looking at the decisions that you're taking, tax isn't the be and all of investing. Having a well-defined strategy is important. I think it's important to make sure you've got the right team around you. What I mean by that is at this time of the year, you go to your accountant says, that's great, you've earned 100 grand a year, but I'm going to get you all of your tax back and you're going to be earning $18,000 and you're going to be deducting $82,000 against your income. A lot of people go and try and claim absolutely every single cent off the table, and then they find out that they can't improve their position by buying more assets or doing anything else over the course of the next 12 months because their finances are all screwed up. So be very savvy when you do your tax returns. Make sure you structure yourself right. I'm a big believer of cash flow. I have the number plate, cash flow. And the reason why I believe in cash flow is cash flow continuously comes in your bank account without you having to do anything. If you've got negative cash flow, that means you're going to have to work to plug into the gap. A lot of people at this point in time, they may have lost their jobs, they may have been reduced incomes or whatnot, and their tax returns isn't going to be as great as what it once was, and they're going to be short because they don't have enough cash flow coming through. So for me, I'm always buying properties that are neutral to positive cash flow. So I want to make sure that the property's rent is covering all of its expenses. How do I benefit from a tax perspective? A lot of the assets that I buy may be newer sort of assets, and with those properties, I'm getting tax deductions via depreciation. So, if you're a person on 150 or 200,000 a year, can you be paying minimal tax? Yes. Would you be buying properties at a negative cash flow? Absolutely not. The acquisition strategy for each income bracket is different. For each person's goals would be different, and it's important that you're constantly looking at how you can improve your position from a cash flow perspective, from an asset perspective, and from all elements of building that portfolio. So a lot of you guys will be receiving a tax refund later on this year, whether it be in July, August, September. When I was working at a job and my boss kept paying my taxes for me because the government doesn't trust you as an employee to pay your own taxes, so they take the taxes from your boss. When I was an employee, I used to go and claim my taxes the first day that I could, so I'd have that extra capital in my pocket so I could go and purchase more assets. So if you're getting a 20 grand tax return coming your way, would you be able to use that for a deposit on a property? Some people will be getting the ability to buy a brand new asset and getting 25,000 plus another 20 grand tax deduction. There is ways of being able to, turn your tax return into a larger asset base there. So, what things can you do to prepare? One, make sure that you are deducting all necessary items that you can. Two, make sure that you're not deducting too much because you won't be able to get the finance. I know the biggest regret that a lot of people come to me with is they're like, well, I want to take advantage of opportunities that are out there, but my accountant has sort of dicked me because now I've paid no tax and it's catch-22 and I can't get lending. So make sure that you've got an accountant that understands your plans and your goals and your strategy in order to be able to help guide you to that, because there is a fine line and a balance. It takes a very good accountant to be able to maximise on those deductions, but also maximise on your borrowing capacity so you can continue to purchase and acquire assets over the course of the coming 12 months. Making sure that you've got your depreciation in place in order to offset. You might have a property that's built 15, 20 years ago. There could be an ability there to claim the building right down on it. And in that case, you can use that income in order to remove from a tax perspective. Looking at having that right team, making sure that you've got the right accountant is crucial. So many accountants just screw things up. They don't have a mindset for building wealth. They have a mindset about minimizing taxes. Some specialize in structures. So many people come to me with these unneeded structures. Structures that I get to see is, like an investor has bought one property and got a trust for it. And it's like, why do you need a trust on your first property? You need to understand why the accountant is doing what they're doing and how is it going to help you in a positive or negative sort of way. So if you need help on planning for your tax, it's not too late. Reach out to my team, 1300 367 925. Send us an email with the heading tax accountant at admin@binvested.com.au, and my team can be in contact. I'll put you in contact with the accountant that I personally use and a lot of my investors use. It specialises in building large asset positions as well as reducing tax liabilities down. I see a lot of people that are on 100 grand a year that end up paying tax on a 50 grand a year salary. I see people that are on 250 grand a year that pay tax on 80 grand a year salary. Large tax deductions without having to either buy a negative geared property or buy new property. So it's important to have the right strategy where your assets are actually helping you reduce your tax as you build a larger portfolio, ideally paying less of tax as well. That doesn't mean buying anything that's negative. You want to see your cash flow increasing. You want to see your tax liability going down in value. You want to see your asset position expanding. So if you can make sure that you are working towards getting those three key elements happening. So I'll repeat that again. Making sure your asset base is expanding. Make sure that your tax liability is going down. Making sure that your cash flow is going up. That is the crucial element. And finding an accountant that can do that is few and far in between. That's why I know that my team can help you out on that front. So reach out if you've got any questions, and make sure that you make your tax return work for you, because a lot of people may not realize that they have got a new property deposit coming in the format of a tax return. For example, if you're getting 25, 30 grand tax return, that's enough for a deposit. If you're getting $10,000 as a tax return, that could be enough to purchase another property. So if you need help on that front as well, hit me up and we'll help you out. We'll catch up soon, guys. Have a great day. Bye for now.